Good afternoon, folks. Been a rather slow news today in the entertainment areas. I don't know exactly what everyone's interests are. I do know the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo came out on PS4, I believe, yesterday. So that's probably very exciting for some people. I don't have a PS4. I'm not too excited about it. Looks great. I'm glad they're doing a remake. I think they should have done a remake 10 years ago, but with new technology, I guess it's not so bad that they held off this long. Looks fantastic, but again, it's Final Fantasy VII, and you don't get to play as Red 13. You do get him as a CPU or AI controlled character, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. I always liked Red 13. Don't know why. Anyway, trying to bring up some news. This is from 3 days ago. Simon Pegg did an interview with Games Radar, so he has a full one here. This is just a little cut from that. He's talking about Star Trek movies. Now, Star Trek from the, what is it called? The Kelvin universe, the last three films. So it's the reboot flavor of Star Trek, taking on the role of three, what's the trifecta, the Kirk, Spock, and Bones sort of scenario. And Simon Pegg, if you didn't know, from, let's see, here's a film of him doing the motion capture as well as the suit for The Force Awakens. And there he is with more prosthetics. And there he is, as I can't remember this dude's name, but he was in The Force Awakens, and he was the dude handing out food to Rey whenever she would transfer her junk in. So when it comes to Simon Pegg in Star Trek, he obviously plays Montgomery Scott, and he also co-wrote, I'm trying to remember the Star Trek Beyond. So he was involved there. There it is, Star Trek Beyond co-writer. So I have not seen Star Trek Beyond. I have not seen Into Darkness. So I don't know the quality of these films. I saw the first one. I thought it was fine. It wasn't fantastic. I didn't. It's we're talking about a totally different Star Trek experience, made for theaters, made for the popcorn blockbuster summertime special sort of thing. But in his mind, these things aren't going to happen anymore because they don't make Marvel money, which is obviously a big deal. So Star Trek movies don't make Marvel money. They make maybe 500 million at most, and that's being really friendly. And to make one now on the scale they'll set themselves is 200 million. Yeah, so that's pretty normal for a sci-fi or science fiction style action adventure Star Trek film. You have to make 3 times that to make a profit, which is really sad. Because that's just production. That's not marketing. That's not all the other expenditures and overhead that producers use to make this film operate and get it to production. So I don't feel like the last one. They didn't really take advantage of the 50th anniversary. The regiment at the time dropped the ball on the promo of the film, and we've lost momentum. I think losing Anton Yelchin, he was in a car accident, I think back in 2016, was a huge blow to our little family, and our enthusiasm to do another one might have been affected by that, so I don't know. And you can read the whole interview here. Pretty detailed, pretty off the cuff, pretty friendly. I like it. And he talks about, of course, the rise of Skywalker. I think it was an exercise in closure. That's putting it lightly. Of course, it was going to be contentious in lots of ways. It was the end of a promised 9 films, It was successful and less successful in varying degrees as JJ knew, taking it on. There was a lot to unpack, parse, and wrap up. Oh, boy. If we look at the last 3 films, also produced by J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot, Simon Pegg was mentioned that he had no knowledge of the next film or the cast's return. This is back in November 2019. So if you look at these numbers, I'm not familiar where these numbers came from, if they're accurate or not. But the third film, Star Trek Beyond, did make $35 million more than the original Star Trek, which I did see, which is $150 million. Into Darkness made the most with 190. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong column. This is the budget. The worldwide numbers for the third film were lower than Star Trek, which was 343 million, and he was being generous with saying they made roughly 500 million, which is not true, obviously, if these numbers are to be believed. Which says nothing of the quality of the film, whether you liked it or not. I still haven't seen these two, so I don't care. But yeah, it's not a lot. And here we have the actual ratings. They all received A minus, 94%, 86%, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Metacritic a lot harsher just because it's Metacritic. And everyone was telling me that Beyond is the better Star Trek film, which is interesting because I still don't have any interest in seeing it. So whether we're going to get another one is curious. Whether he's going to be involved is also who knows. With the advent of Star Trek Picard, which has just gone off the rails as far as my understanding of storytelling goes. It started off with promise, and then it just slowly started degrading itself, and then became whatever the writers and producers want at this point. I have no idea. Is it a horror film? Is it or a horror series? Is it retconning everything for the sake of it? Is it some sort of emancipation of Picard as an old man? Is he getting out of his character? We don't know what's going on. So, wish I knew some more information on Star Trek in general, what the TV franchise is doing, what the movie franchise is doing, but we don't really have much. All we've got are games, mobile games, perhaps some comics, but even that is sparse. I don't know too much news on that. It's a slow news days, guys, but hey, this is what we've got. And I hear Simon Pegg was a Star Trek fan, and that's why Beyond might have been a good film to watch. But other than that, nothing in the Star Trek world has interested me. So if anyone has any cool science fiction out there, modern science fiction, sci-fi, space opera, you name it, leave it in the comments below. What are you guys reading? What are you guys watching? What are you excited about? Because I have not seen a damn thing in terms of TV or movies or streaming services to say what excites me. Of course, gaming has been awesome, but I'll leave that for another discussion. Thanks for your time, guys. Have yourself a great day.